Chris was such a beautiful guy, man. He was the sweetest person. He was so talented. He had so much to offer that it was a real shock to hear that he had gone. Depression is a disease, and everybody kind of goes through it their own way. I can't speak for anybody else's condition, but the hardest part is when you lose a friend, and I just always immediately think of their families and their bandmates, and it's a long road.
Sort of bred into, sort of hardwired into my being because I was raised Catholic from a really young age. And as far as like Catholicism, I reject it not entirely. I think there's some little things they do here and there that are cool, but I also think that they take a lot of money from people that don't have it, and they put their people up in nice places, and they.
Alcohol is like it's the only drug that actually affects your entire brain, and it would do this one thing that's good, I suppose, for someone in terms of the expressionism, which is it kind of relieves you of your fear, and you become less inhibited. But then, for me, for some reason, whatever that door is that needs to open, to where it becomes almost like the conduit to something else. It's not just a construct that just doesn't open up. I think alcohol just sort of dumbs that, whatever that is, down or shuts that down. And other drugs too, and then never.
What kind of band was it? The Shimps.
I haven't got much of a memory of it. The Shimps was a really a bar band, and it wasn't billed as that. I was a drummer from about 16, I suppose, till I started singing. The Shimps was this band that put an ad in what was called the Rocket. It was like a local music mag like LA Weekly or something of Seattle, and I'd been a drummer, and I was in a lot of really lousy bar bands, and I was just kind of trying to find a band that had original music that I liked, and it was impossible to do. And I was working at restaurants, and I would put my drums. I had this little Toyota Corona, like a '69. It was tiny. If I put my drum set in it, it was in the passenger seat in the front, the whole back seat, the whole trunk was full, and I had sort of just enough room to kind of sit in it and drive. And I would go play a gig, and then I would come home, sleep for 3 hours, go work, come home, sleep for 3 hours, and then put my drums back in and go to a gig. And I thought that maybe I should try singing, because I was singing backgrounds from behind the drums, and that would always get a reaction. And if I sang lead, that would be the biggest reaction of the night in whatever band I was in. So I decided to try that. And I was just looking at Vocalist Wanted, and the Shimps was one of them, Vocalist Wanted, and I thought, I'm going to try this, and just why not? It was just like cover songs of like 70s bands, really, at the time. But in his band was Hiro Yamamoto, the original bass player of Soundgarden, and Kim Thayil, who would fill in for Hiro as bass player when he didn't want to show up. And I met those guys then, and I remember one show of the Shimps, apparently we did too, but we all three quit basically at the same time. It wasn't anything we wanted to do.
I think it was probably about Syracuse. You could hear our feet on the stage walking around. Yeah. Fuck, man.
What was it you liked about Roskilde? Was it because it was more
Hey! People were telling us last night because we were speaking English, they thought we were from England. They were telling us that England lost money.
Yeah, we won Cameroon.
Cameroon were playing that English deserved to.
Yeah.
Yes, they've done very well.
We're all pissed in that garbage can.
Be sure not to wear it or anything.
As a hat. Many stars we've seen this club.
No water. On stage.
So please welcome SOUNDGARDEN!
It's really one of those things where you gotta pinch yourself, you know.
just to make sure that you're not dreaming.
To make sure that someone you care about is actually waking you up and wasting your time to let you know this.
I'm gonna just go ahead and pinch him right now.
I think pinch him right here.
Oh, there's a lot of skin. I think there's some skin right there. Anyway, it's wonderful. It's really wonderful.
It's
We're all
swell.
really ecstatic. Well, bring us down. I mean,
okay, it's great. It's fantastic.
What do you think of the other bands that you're up against?
Gee, I wish they had nominated us for something. I think a lot of them they represent a jury of our peers a little bit more. We're very happy for Metallica. A good thing Jeff Hotel is not in the running this year, and we're very happy for Faith No More
and Queensryche.
Queensryche's from Seattle.
We hope any one of those bands would deserve it.
What do you think about the category being, you're under heavy metal? Do you guys consider yourself a heavy metal band?
The Grammys do. So
yeah,
maybe heavy.
Yeah, that's what counts.
Not necessarily metal.
Pacific Northwest, high fashion now means, well, you decide. Jerry Bowen reports.
For everything that Seattle has come to symbolize about the Great Northwest, add one more. It is, for better or worse, the birthplace of grunge. Grunge is the fashion trend launched by the hard-driving guitar music known as the Seattle Sound. The grunge look is an urban lumberjack, anything-goes ensemble of duck boots, tattered shirts, and long underwear. Seattle's Goodwill store was far ahead of the fashion curve when it came to grungy clothing. Now, it's the place to go for acceptable grungy jeans.
A little oversized, the fading creased right into it, worn out knees, little stain, that's good, that's very good.
But grunge is not for everyone.
I just gotta get a look at what a Seattle audience looks like again. All right. I just spent the last 10 weeks looking at Europeans, so I gotta come home and see everybody. You kind of look like family. You're all invited for Thanksgiving. This song is called Outshine.
From the 5th anniversary Rip Magazine party, which I'm hosting. That's why I'm wearing all this cute, cool gear. And I got 3 of my buds playing this party from Seattle tonight. Chris Cornell from Soundgarden. Hello. Lane Staley from Alice in Chains. Hello. And Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam. He's kind of soft-spoken. So guys, what's it like, you know, having 3 Seattle bands at one night for one occasion? The benefit of Rip Magazine.
It's the best thing that ever happened to LA. It's like a gang. We're like a big gang. Yeah, I think that all the outsiders better watch their step, you know, when this whole thing's over. You know, don't take any back alleys home.
You know what I think is cool is you guys saved us a lot of money because you only needed one dressing room, and you all drink out of the same beer bottles. That's really cool.
It is really cool. We'll all urinate in the same container and leave it for you to clean up after the show, and yeah, I think it's cool.
This is cost-effective rock promotion at its finest, don't you think?
Were you close with Kurt Cobain?
We weren't that close.
Who could be close to him? He married Courtney Love.
Courtney Love could be close.
Did it affect you in a personal way, though, when he died? I mean, were you close enough for that, or like...
He was busy fighting with Soundgarden. He didn't have time to post
He had his own problem.
Yeah. I had friends die before that, and, you know, the way that he did it was kind of a twist, but other than that, I'd been through it before. And it was a shame. But, you know, it's like it's a shame for... his daughter, for one.
Yeah.
It's a shame for fans, you know. But really, it's a personal thing, and I don't know. It was a drag, and I wish it didn't happen. And I also think, like, if he would have just kind of hung on for 6 months, who knows? 6 months later, he would have been a completely different guy.
Yeah, who knows what kind of decision that was.
Well, but even with you know, if you guys had gone ahead and made an album, maybe it would have been great. You don't know unless you do it.
That's true.
That's right.
Black hole sun, won't you come? Is the rain.
Experience the super unknown with Soundgarden. Features Spoonman and Black Hole Sun.
Album. It's called Super Unknown. Mark Schur talked with members of the band.
Soundgarden. Let's start with what they are not. They're not the latest grunge band from Seattle, having been together longer than Nirvana or Pearl Jam.
I think in a lot of ways, we were sort of the band that was difficult to swallow or define from the supposed Seattle scene.
They are not basking with pride after one writer compared their latest album, Super Unknown, to the best work of Led Zeppelin and Van Halen.
I wish it made me feel good.
Why doesn't it?
I don't know. I don't put that much importance to other people's opinions, really. I don't, I would think if I read that about my band or that record, I would think that was probably, laid on a little bit thick.
And they are not playing Woodstock 94.
I can't think of a good reason to play it. Could you?
the grunge period of the early 90s slowly receding into rock history, SOUNDGARDEN, the metal-edged Seattle band, called it quits this week after 12 years and one chart-topping album. No reason was given, just a terse notice through the group's record company that the split was amicable and mutual. Here's a look back at the band that was.
Like Can't Change Me. What was the genesis of that, and how did that transform as you recorded?
That one was pretty straightforward. I did a demo of it at home. It's almost exactly like the record. I mean, there's keyboards and the chorus of the song kind of transformed on the record, but the basic idea is really similar. That's one of those kind of 15-minute songs where I started getting the idea musically, and then the lyrics were sort of integral, like just the melody started to come with the lyrics already attached, so the whole thing just kind of rolled out and simple, quick. Which a lot of people say those are the best songs, but the reason why is if you don't labor over anything, you're not tired of it yet, so it seems like the best song.
But the vocal has a kind of fragility and power that maybe was hard to get across in front of a big thick band like you had before. Was that a liberating thing for you?
It's a fun thing, that's for sure, especially in recording a song and then mixing and like listening for vocal nuances that you might recognize in another harder song and really like it, and then when you go to mix, you can't get it out. You're always trying to push that little part up, and you're not going to hear it.
What could she want me? Yeah.
101.7 KROQ, and it's the Kevin and Bean Show at 11 minutes after 8 o'clock. Back to the beginning. Rage Against the Machine breaks up. You guys are looking for a singer. Somebody mentions Chris's name.
We wanted to do something different, and we talked with our friend Rick Rubin, and only one name came to the surface, and it was Chris Cornell.
Now, Chris, you were doing solo stuff, right?
Yeah.
At that point. And they called you and said, "Hey, want to sing with us?"
Sort of, yeah. And not only that, but I was big fans of this band, and to me, all you do is you just imagine, okay, here I am, and I'm on stage, and I'm singing over this band, what's that going to sound like? And immediately it was like, that's going to sound great.
Right.
And it very much was like a fully collaborative from every member, from the very first day to the very last song, and then all through the recording process.
It developed organically and really naturally, and that's how Audioslave developed. We didn't have any preconceived notions of what it had to be or what it should be or what we've done before.
I just remember the first time we got in a room together, first jam session, I remember just kind of closing my eyes, putting my head down and playing, and hearing that voice that is just so unique and powerful, and all of a sudden he's in a room with me, and it was actually really surreal.
In disguise is no one known. As the face lies the snake, and the sun in my disgrace. All in heat, some mustache, beneath the blackness I stand. Black hole sun, won't you come? Wash away the rain. Black hole sun, won't you come? Won't you come? Start away, open down. Still the one we tired from. Times are gone for all its men. Sometimes far too long for.
Approximately a year before he died, he was prescribed a benzodiazepine to help him sleep. And it was because he had torn his shoulder. The pain in the shoulder was waking him up at night, and it was keeping him up. I just remember seeing him one day, and I said, "You're walking like my grandfather." And he said to me, "Oh, you know what? I'll just stop taking it." I said, "Okay," and he didn't. In retrospect, I've learned that it's not supposed to be given to anybody who's in recovery, and if you have to give it, they have to be closely monitored, and it should not be given for more than 2 to 3 weeks. So in a 7-day period, he took 20-something pills, and in a 9-day period, 33. So he relapsed.
Whatsoever I feel is come alive. Whatsoever I fall, came my life. That's my every day. Sing the breaking with the stars. Sunspots fading. Now I'm doing tired. Now I'm doing tired. Fell on black days, fell on black days.
12 years, a long time coming. Make some noise for these guys. And the rest of Prophets of Rage. Sing along to this. On the cobweb afternoon, room full of emptiness by the freeway. I confess I was lost in the pages of a book for the deaf, reading how it died. If we go, we lay the rest in where we want to go. In our house, on to bed, roll down road, patiently. I'll wait for you there, like a stone. I'll wait for you there. Oh, yes, I will.
Look so handsome this evening, by the way. So, what's the main difference between writing music for music and music for film?
If I'm writing music for music, kind of any idea that I have is valid, and it's about me and whatever I'm thinking or feeling. Whereas a film, you sort of collaborating with the story, and you have a responsibility to make that collaboration work and write something that lives in harmony with it.
Did you feel a lot of responsibility with this film?
I definitely did. My wife is Greek, and her family is Greek, and they have shared history with the Armenians in terms of the genocide. It was part of the same policy. I have a lot of friends that are Armenian, so I was very humbled to be asked to do it, and I definitely obsessed over not screwing it up, not letting anybody down.
Well, I have the utmost faith in you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love you guys up there on the top shelf, but you gotta stand up and show me something. Now make some noise down here and congratulate them. All right, thank you. That's the spirit. We're gonna do a song about it. It's sort of about tolerance, provided that nobody tells me what to do. Nobody tells us what to do. Anyone can do whatever they want. I don't care what it is. Including you can burn crosses on your lawn. I don't give a You can burn your house down. Who cares? I don't. As long as it doesn't catch someone else's house on fire. This is called My Wave.
Off pitch. He forgot words. First thing he said to me when he called me that night was the ringing in my ears. I couldn't stop the ringing. He was slurring his speech a lot. And I'm like, Chris, please tell me what you took. If you tell me, I forgive you. And I'm going to come and be with you tomorrow. I called the security guard and I said to him, you need to go to his room. The door will be bolted. And don't wait, just break it. And in the meantime, I was calling for help from the hotel as well. And I said, please call an ambulance, please send help.
I'm on scene with a 53-year-old male, pulse in his neck, and arrival of crew. Unknown downtime, found by roommate in a hotel at MGM. Patient did have a exercise rubber band around his neck. Suggestions of possible strangulation, trauma to the back of the head, history of depression. Patient is cool with the touch in all areas at this time. Pulse has been on scene over 30 minutes time. Pupils are fixed and dilated. IO in the right knee, ligature marks on his neck. We have established a patent airway, ET tube. I'm sorry, that was a dual lumen combi tube. We're not able to resuscitate him this time, so we're asking for pronouncement.
Seattle grunge rocker Chris Cornell has died.
Cornell was the frontman for SOUNDGARDEN. CBS 2's Craig Herrera is live this morning with the details. Craig?
Some devastating news in the music world. Rocker Chris Cornell has died. Cheryl Casone has the details on that and a look back at his really fantastic career.
And now we want to get you caught up on some tragic breaking news that we're following for you this morning. Singer and rocker Chris Cornell has died.
Yeah, we're going to turn things over to Jason. Jason, so many people were at a concert last night not knowing that that would be his last performance.
Yeah, he was found dead just hours after he performed downtown. Cornell played in the band SOUNDGARDEN. He passed away overnight at MGM Grand.
Just talking about Chris Cornell, we found out last night at the Comedy Store that he died, and then this morning found out that he hung himself. Just fuck.
It's hard to even comprehend. How do you comprehend that?
I'm living in a parallel universe. Doesn't make any sense. Like, how could someone like, you know, it's easy on the outside looking in at a guy like that, but you're like, that guy was one of the best ever. Like, how does a guy like that even want to kill himself? How does the lead singer of Soundgarden?
To me,
It's always crazy when you wake up and someone has a text that says R.I.P. somebody and say Chris Cornell, and I always have to Google it, like maybe it's a joke, but of course it rarely ever is. So to see that he had passed away basically during my sleep was pretty strange, because we just saw them last week at Northern Invasion in Somerset, Wisconsin. They headlined that show.
My name's Chester, and yeah, great privilege of being a friend of Chris and invited to be a member of his family. In honor of Chris's memory, I'd like to perform